Hello friends, and welcome to today's video. In today's video, we're paying a visit to the location where Race Rock Cafe used to be, right over here behind me, 8986 International Drive, which is now a Dave & Buster's. But back then, on February 7 of 1996, Race Rock was opened by Bobby Moore. He had two previous locations before opening the one in Orlando, the first being in Detroit.
Bobby Moore got out of the elephant business and decided it was time for a new ingenious business endeavor. And so here we have the Race Rock Motor City Diner with all of the comforts of home. Come on, number two. Yeah, this is a novelty that's not soon to wear off. A guy buys 13 elephants, hangs race cars from his ceiling upside down. Were you born eccentric, or did you just come that way?
My mother's been crying ever since I was born about what I am.
Look further around this establishment and you'll see an Andretti corner, the Winston Eagle race boat suspended from the ceiling upside down, and countless other race memorabilia that Moore has either had donated or purchased. I'm a reporter, so I have to be nosy. Answer this how you want. How much money do you have invested into this?
You don't really want me to tell you that, do you?
In Clinton Township, Fred Human, TV2 First News.
And that Andretti car suspended from the ceiling is no fake. It is 1,000 pounds of the real thing.
Wow.
The second being in Las Vegas. Then he opened up his third location here in Orlando, Florida, actually making it the flagship location for the company. Unfortunately, it did close down back in March of 2007, but I'm going to show you what it looked like inside. I'm going to show you the menu. I'm going to show you what vehicles you would find on the outside. I'm going to show you, most importantly, where Bigfoot used to be, and I'm going to show you where Bigfoot is today. I'm inviting you to come join me. Let's go have a wonderful day. You can see in this shot the Olive Garden right there on the right-hand side, but you can also see on the left a sign, and that sign was marking Race Rock, and now it is replaced by a Dave & Buster sign. Now, in construction, they usually like to keep anything that's underground, like the framework, and then they just make modifications. So I'm going to say that this exact spot is where the Race Rock sign used to be, and it used to be a lot shorter, probably pretty much up to where the line is, and maybe they just made this addition. But I'm going to say this is exactly where that sign was. Now, the other sign that you would come across was right up the sidewalk, walking up the sidewalk, and I did do some comparison on Google and kind of went back to 2011 when the building was still here. Obviously, at that point, the building was pretty much vacant, shut down, barren. There was nothing there. But the sign used to be right over here where this island is. Right over there. That's where the roundabout used to be. And I kind of did some Google comparison, and I did see a pylon right over here. I believe this is the marker right here. It's a water marker. There used to be a pylon which kind of gave you the center spot of where the building was, and this is where the middle of the building was, and there's the sign. Let me go ahead and show it to you. But yeah, this is exactly where the building was, and you would obviously see some cars hanging from above the entrance. You'd see Bigfoot lined up here, sometimes the Tonka truck. You'll also see race cars lined up around here. But this is exactly where the sign used to be. There's the pylon that I was telling you about, right there, pretty much marking the center of the building. You can also see the sign that I just showed you. Obviously, this photograph was taken when the building, Race Rock, was shut down and the building was left abandoned. But right there's the pylon, there's the center, there's the sign, and that's what it looked like when it was shut down. Let me show you another angle of the sign, and there you can see in the background some cars, race boat hanging from above the entrance. The property was sold for $7.5 million by Bobby Moore. Not 100% sure if it was sold to Dave & Buster's or if it was sold to someone else, and then that someone else sold it to Dave & Buster's. But nonetheless, obviously, the building is no longer here. And sorry, I gotta speak loud. I do have a helicopter here taking off in a little bit. Let's watch that happen. So obviously the previous building is no longer here, was completely demolished somewhere around 2010, 2011, and then they built this building here. But let me show you what it looked like inside, what you would find as soon as you walk through the doors. Then I'm going to show you the dining area, and then I'm going to show you what you were able to eat as an adult or as a child. Couple of things that you would not miss as you entered the restaurant was the 2 full-size tractor trailers that they had here, full of stock and merchandise. On the left hand side you would see the red one there, full of merchandise, but on the right hand side you would find a yellow one. So 2 full-size tractor trailers full of merchandise. Now the one on the right hand side, let me show you a closer photograph of the yellow one, and actually through the window you can see a building that is still here today. That building right over there. Now, the couple of other things that you would find in here are some different type of race cars depending on what year you came and visited. Before you went into the dining area was Samson II. Samson II, which was built by Dan Patrick, which is very known in the monster truck world, actually visited RaceRock back when it first opened, back in February 7 of 1996. And the chassis that was here was built by him. As a matter of fact, he had a really good relationship with the owner of Bigfoot, whose name is Bob Chandler, and they obviously had a really good relationship with Bobby Moore, which was the owner of RaceRock, and that's why both Samson II was here and also Bigfoot.
Of course, we did come to eat here, and we're happy to say that this place has got all the fixings of a great American food fair restaurant. RaceRock is known for all things that travel fast: motorcycles, speedboats, monster trucks, and it's also known for its food, especially the burgers, the wings, and the monster desserts. This is what I'm getting ready to arm wrestle Raul for. All right, let's go, buddy. I think you're gonna lose.
Let me go ahead and show you a photograph of what the dining area looked like, and there aren't many of them. I only have this one here, but this gives us a nice glimpse into what it looked like. You can see the tables and chairs there. You can see along the wall, those are glass displays with uniforms that were used in actual races. Then you would see some, some frames, some photographs, some pictures there along the wall on the top. And then on the very top, circling the whole area, were some race cars. You can see the 3 Dale Earnhardt 3. You can also see the Jeff Gordon 24. And this was the dining area. Now, when you sat down and they waited on you, this is the uniforms that they wore. They kind of look like race uniforms. And too bad I don't have much photographs of these, but this is what they look like. And then once you sit down, if you had children, you can ask for a kid's menu. The menu stated that it costs $4.95 for the meal, and the children could get a Bigfoot, which is a jumbo beef hot dog, the midget pepperoni pizza, chicken dragsters, which is a boneless chicken piece with French fries and cinnamon apple sauce, the Indy, which is a grilled cheese, American grilled cheese, and then the Daytona, which was a cheeseburger, or the Slicky Track, which was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with French fries. That sounds kind of odd. And now if you were an adult, here's the menu. And starters, they had the Onion Explosion Baja Nachos. Look at that, chicken dragsters. For salads, they had the black bean soup. So this is soup and salad. They had the Oriental chicken salad, tomato basil salad. Then for burgers and sandwiches, they had the Pro Stock. They had the Brute Force, which is known to be John Force's favorite burger. Modified, they also had a hot rod. Now going down to pizzas, they had the Gordon Double Pepperoni Pizza, grilled barbecue chicken, and so forth and so on. They had a margarita pizza, a Philly cheesesteak calzone. Then they also had fettuccine alfredo. So they had a lot of things. They had pasta, tortellini, Florentine, garlic shrimp pasta. Wow, amazing. And then the main event, they had the king, the road dog, barbecue ribs, and chicken. This is larger menus for like families. And then they also had the dessert, the victory lap, which it was called, and they offered cinnamon peach crisp, triple chocolate brownie sundae, banana split cheesecake, the big apple, and then the victory lap, the victory flag cake, I should say. So as you can see inside the restaurant, there was a lot of things to do, a lot of things to see, a lot of memorabilia. I mean, a lot of stuff in there. Very cool. They also even had arcades in there, merchandise, food, everything was great. Now, one of the best things about coming to Race Rock here in Orlando was that Bigfoot was also here, and you could take photographs with Bigfoot right over here in this corner. Actually, let me show you a photograph comparison. That's when Bigfoot was here, and you can see this sign here has changed. And like I say, they usually keep the signs. It doesn't make sense to kind of knock all this down to build another one. So they just make modifications to existing signs like they did over here. But this is exactly where this photograph was taken, right over here. This photograph right here. This photograph here was taken pretty much from this angle, right over here. And it shows the Race Rock sign there in the background. It also says Race Rock there on the building. And then you can obviously see Bigfoot. Here's another photograph, and you can see the shadow of the sign, and you can see there is a full-size SUV standing right next to Bigfoot, and you can see how Bigfoot towers that full-size SUV. Now let me give you a little bit of story on this Bigfoot. This Bigfoot is actually Bigfoot 7, and it was built in 1988 by Bob Chandler specifically for the movie Roadhouse, featuring Patrick Swayze. And let me go ahead and show you the scene.
That's what it is. It's made you an abuser. Well, what are you waiting for, Gary? Drive through there.
Cool fact about the scene is that it cost $500,000 for that scene. Obviously, they destroyed a whole bunch of vehicles, but it only took one take for them to add that into the movie. So that's a good thing. Otherwise, imagine if it took two takes, that's $100,000. But another cool fact about Bigfoot 7 is that it was featured it wasn't featured, but it was used in the movie Tango and Cash in 1989. Here's a photograph of that. And you can see there, it wasn't actually used. It didn't say Bigfoot. I think they only used kind of like the frame, but it was also used in that movie. So one cool thing about the restaurant is obviously you went in there, you got to see a lot. You got to see a lot of merchandise. You got to see a lot of memorabilia from race car drivers, and you had a nice meal. Then you could also purchase some merchandise. Some of the merchandise that were there were pins. You can see this pin here. You can also see this pin here with the race car, Orlando, Race Rock Orlando, Race Rock 3. Why? Because this was their third location. You can see this nice leather jacket, and then also a baseball hat, which I'm thinking of getting one for myself. And then lastly, let me go ahead and show you the photograph of what Race Rock looked like when it was closed down. And then also one as it was being demolished. Business was closed. The owner, Bobby Moore, needed to find a way to get rid of everything. Some of the locations had transferred merchandise and vehicles over to the Orlando location, and this place was full of stuff. And so when they closed down, Bobby Moore thought of a way to get rid of everything, and he came up with a with an auction. So they ended up auctioning off everything in here, including plates, dinnerware, everything, cabinets, all the vehicles, and some of them are here. And you can see that the John Force funny car was purchased for $5,500. The Jeff Gordon Chevrolet number 4, driven by him, was for $11,000. We also have the Grand Prix STP number 43, driven by Richard Petty, for $9,000. This one here is a Superflow Chevy Monte Carlo, driven by Tom Cruise, for $15,000, and so forth and so on. You got more. You got this one here for $12,000, and so forth and so on. Now, a couple of things that they didn't mention here was Samsung 2 that was here. That one was purchased back from the owner. Remember, I spoke to you about him, Dan Patrick. That was purchased back from him. And then also, the Bigfoot 7 was also sold for $50,000 to a company that is here near this location. And I'm going to show you right now where that is. It is right over here. Fun Spot America in Kissimmee. It's not in Orlando, it's in Kissimmee. It's about, I'm going to say about a good 20-minute drive from where Race Rock used to be. Let me go ahead and show you Bigfoot 7. You can see Bigfoot here. It's hard to take photographs, there's a lot of people here, but let me show you this as well. I mentioned to you that Bigfoot 7 was used in one of the movies. There's Roadhouse right over there. There's a scene, and it kind of goes into detail about the $500,000 that it cost for that scene. It only took one scene for the movie. It gives you all the details there. Now let me go ahead and kind of go around this way, and let me show you the other difference. The other difference here is that they kind of put a cheap sticker that's obviously looking bad condition right now. It says Big Fun, so they changed it from Bigfoot to Big Fun. But this is the exact same vehicle. There's the information again of the movie. But let me back up and let me show you what it looked like over at Race Rock. That's what it looked like. Just gonna come around this way here. Now you see, you gotta understand one thing. Bobby Moore stated that he had probably earned about $15 million of publicity because of Bigfoot. And the owner, Bob Chandler, who was trying to purchase Bigfoot 7 from Fun Spot, which he had a lot of attempts and has failed because the owner just doesn't even want to reply to him anymore. But this means bringing publicity over to Fun Spot, the same way that it brought to Race Rock. So that's the reason why they don't want to get rid of this Bigfoot. I mean, there was already a lot of people here taking photographs, but this is it right here. This was actually used in the movie. This was in Race Rock, and this is the one that you used to see when you were on I-4. Here's this shot of when it was in Race Rock and now here in Fun Spot. Friends, I'm going to end this video right here, but you got a chance to learn about Race Rock over in Orlando, Florida. Third location, sold, demolished, no longer in existence. The Bigfoot that was there is here now. Fun Spot, Kissimmee. But I'm going to end this video like I always do. We came, we saw, and we conquered. And do me a favor, have a wonderful day. Peace.